The electric hum of the boardroom fell silent as Eliza Harrington stood, smoothing her tailored Armani suit with hands that had never known a day of struggle. At 36, she commanded the respect of every executive in the Fortune 500 company she'd built from scratch. Yet something essential was missing from her meticulously curated life. The quarterly reports show a 17% increase, she announced, her voice projecting confidence while her mind drifted. Another successful meeting, another lonely night ahead in her penthouse overlooking the Chicago skyline. Her assistant, Mia, caught up with her in the hallway afterward. "Your calendar is clear for Thursday evening as requested, Miss Harrington." Eliza nodded. "Thank you, Mia, and the arrangement. Your friend Sophia confirmed everything. She's set you up with someone she promises is perfect for you." Mia's expression remained professionally neutral, but Eliza caught the hint of amusement. "I can't believe I agreed to this," Eliza muttered, stepping into her private elevator. A blind date at 36. Desperation had finally caught up with her success. 3 miles across town, Vincent Reeves fumbled with his tie in the cramped bathroom of his modest 2-bedroom apartment. At 38, he still couldn't get the knot right. "Dad, you're doing it wrong again." His 12-year-old daughter, Lily, appeared in the doorway, school backpack slung over one shoulder. She reached up and adjusted the tie with practiced fingers. "Mom taught me before she died. Remember?" Vincent's throat tightened. 4 years since cancer had taken Amanda, and simple things like ties still undid him. "What would I do without you, kiddo?" "Probably wear clip-ons," Lily quipped, then grew serious. "You look nice. Is it a job interview?" Vincent hesitated. "No, it's dinner with a friend of Sophia's." He'd met Sophia through the community center where he volunteered on weekends. What he hadn't mentioned to Lily was that Sophia had insisted on setting him up, claiming she knew someone perfect for him. Like a date. Lily's eyes widened. "Just dinner," Vincent hedged, though his stomach twisted with nerves. Dating hadn't been on his radar since Amanda passed. Between raising Lily and keeping their heads above water financially, there simply hadn't been time or energy. "Mrs. Peterson is still coming over, right?" Lily asked. Vincent nodded. "She'll be here at 6. I won't be late, promise." After dropping Lily at school, Vincent headed to his job at Westside Construction. As a site foreman, he earned a decent wage, but medical bills from Amanda's illness had left him with crushing debt. He worked overtime whenever possible, picking up weekend shifts and side jobs to stay afloat. "Reeves," his boss called out, "need you on the Johnson project today. They're behind schedule." By the time Thursday evening arrived, Vincent was exhausted. He'd nearly canceled the date twice, but Sophia had been insistent. "Trust me," she'd said. "This could change everything." He showered quickly, changed into his only decent suit, and kissed Lily goodbye after Mrs. Peterson arrived. "Don't forget to smile, Dad," Lily whispered as she hugged him. "Mom would want you to be happy." Vincent swallowed hard and nodded. "I'll be home before you know it." Across town, Eliza was second-guessing her decision. "This is ridiculous, Sophia," she said into her phone as her driver navigated through traffic. "I run a multi-billion-dollar company. I don't have time for blind dates." "Which is exactly why you need this," Sophia replied. "When was the last time you met someone who wasn't trying to pitch you an investment or climb the corporate ladder?" Eliza fell silent. Her friend had a point. "Just give him a chance," Sophia continued. "He's different from the men you usually meet. Honest, hardworking, genuine. Fine," Eliza conceded. "But if he starts talking about his cryptocurrency investments or his yacht, I'm leaving." "Trust me," Sophia laughed. "That won't be a problem." The restaurant, Bella Luna, occupied the middle ground between upscale and accessible. Eliza arrived first, taking a corner table with a view of the entrance. She'd intentionally dressed down in a simple black dress, pearl earrings her only adornment. Still, heads turned as she entered. Her presence commanded attention regardless of what she wore. Vincent arrived 7 minutes late, slightly winded from parking 6 blocks away to avoid the valet fee. He scanned the restaurant, heart pounding. Sophia had been vague about his date, mentioning only that she was successful and looking for something real. His eyes landed on a striking woman sitting alone, checking her watch. Even in simple attire, she radiated an elegance that made him acutely aware of his second-hand suit and scuffed shoes. "Excuse me," he approached cautiously. "Are you Eliza?" She looked up, and for a moment Vincent forgot to breathe. Her eyes were a startling shade of green, intelligent and assessing. "You must be Vincent," she said, extending her hand. Her handshake was firm, confident. "Please sit." The waiter appeared instantly. "Would you like to see the wine list, sir?" Vincent hesitated, glancing at the menu prices visible from where he stood. "Just water for now, thanks." Eliza noticed his discomfort and smoothly interjected, "I've already ordered a bottle of Merlot. I hope that's acceptable." Vincent nodded, settling into his chair. "That's perfect, thank you." An awkward silence fell between them. Vincent cleared his throat. "So how do you know Sophia?" "College roommates," Eliza replied. "We've remained friends despite very different paths. And you?" "I volunteer at the community center where she teaches art classes." "My daughter takes her Saturday morning session." Eliza's interest visibly piqued. "You have a daughter, Lily. She's 12 going on 30. Vincent smiled genuinely for the first time that evening, his entire demeanor softening, smart as a whip and twice as sharp. "And her mother?" Eliza asked carefully. "Amanda passed away 4 years ago, cancer." The words still felt like gravel in his throat. "I'm sorry," Eliza said, and Vincent could tell she meant it. The waiter returned with wine, and they ordered, Eliza choosing confidently while Vincent selected one of the less expensive options. "What do you do, Vincent?" Eliza asked after the waiter departed. "I'm a site foreman at Westside Construction," he answered honestly. "Been in construction since I was 18. "Do you enjoy it?" Vincent considered the question. No one had asked him that in years. "I do. There's something satisfying about building something tangible, watching a project come together from nothing." Eliza nodded thoughtfully. "And what do you do when you're not building things?" "Honestly, being a dad takes most of my time. Lily's in middle school now, science club, debate team, soccer. When I'm not working or at one of her events, I volunteer at the community center. They have a program teaching trade skills to at-risk youth." As he spoke, Eliza found herself leaning forward, drawn in by his unpretentious sincerity. There was no carefully crafted persona, no agenda behind his words, just a man who worked hard and loved his daughter. "Your turn," Vincent said. "What keeps you busy?" Eliza hesitated. This was where conversations usually changed. Once people learned who she was, they saw dollar signs, not a person. "I work in business," she said vaguely. "Corporate management." Vincent nodded, waiting for her to elaborate, but she steered the conversation elsewhere. "Tell me more about Lily. 12 is such a pivotal age." As Vincent shared stories about his daughter, her science fair victory, her struggle with pre-algebra, her volunteer work at the animal shelter, Eliza found herself genuinely laughing for the first time in months. There was something refreshing about his perspective, unfiltered by wealth or pretense. Their food arrived and Vincent paused mid-story. "Sorry, I've been rambling." "Not at all," Eliza assured him. "It's nice to hear someone talk about something they care about." They ate, the conversation flowing more easily. Vincent asked about her family, and Eliza shared carefully edited stories about growing up in Connecticut, her parents' expectations, her struggle to forge her own path. "They wanted me to marry well and join the family business," she explained, omitting that said business was a banking empire she'd rejected to build her own technology company. "I had different ideas." "Good for you," Vincent said simply. "Life's too short to live someone else's dream." The sincerity in his voice touched something in Eliza. In her world, every statement was calculated, every compliment had an angle. Vincent's straightforward honesty was like a cool breeze in a stifling room. As the evening progressed, Eliza found herself reluctant for it to end. When the check arrived, she reached for it automatically. "Please, let me," Vincent said, his expression determined as he took the folder. Eliza saw him pale slightly at the total but didn't intervene. She understood pride and recognized the importance of this gesture to him. Outside the restaurant, they stood awkwardly on the sidewalk. "I had a wonderful time," Eliza said honestly. "So did I," Vincent replied. "Would you like to get coffee sometime? Or maybe you could come to Lily's debate competition next weekend." He offered the invitation hesitantly, as if expecting rejection. Eliza surprised herself by saying, "I'd like that very much." They exchanged numbers, and Vincent insisted on waiting until her car arrived. When the sleek black Bentley pulled up with a uniformed driver, he couldn't hide his surprise. "Corporate management must pay well," he said, attempting humor to mask his discomfort. Eliza smiled enigmatically. "Good night, Vincent." As her car pulled away, Eliza felt a strange mix of emotions. She deliberately withheld the full scope of who she was, and now faced a dilemma. Vincent was refreshingly genuine, the exact opposite of the calculated, ambitious men who usually surrounded her. But would that change once he knew the truth about her wealth and position? Vincent walked the 6 blocks to his car, replaying the evening in his mind. Eliza was unlike anyone he'd met, since Amanda intelligent, engaging, and genuinely interested in his life, despite the obvious disparity in their circumstances. The car and driver had been a stark reminder of that gap, but something about her made him want to see her again regardless. When he arrived home, he found Mrs. Peterson knitting in the living room. "Lily's asleep," she reported. "She tried to wait up but couldn't make it past 10. "How was your date?" "Surprisingly good," Vincent admitted. "She's different." After paying Mrs. Peterson and seeing her out, Vincent checked on Lily, softly pushing her door open. His daughter was sprawled across her bed, one arm flung over her head, looking so much like her mother that his heart ached. The next morning, Eliza sat in her office overlooking the Chicago River, unable to focus on the quarterly projections in front of her. Her thoughts kept drifting to Vincent, his laugh, the way his eyes crinkled when he spoke about Lily, his complete lack of pretense. Her assistant knocked and entered. "Miss Harrington, the Tokyo conference call is in 10 minutes. "Thank you, Mia." Eliza hesitated, then asked, "Could you do some research for me? Nothing official, just personal curiosity." Mia raised an eyebrow but nodded. "Of course. Vincent Reeves, works as a foreman at Westside Construction, has a 12-year-old daughter named Lily, widower." "What kind of information are you looking for?" Mia asked carefully. "Just background, financial situation, nothing invasive." Mia nodded and withdrew, leaving Eliza with a vague sense of guilt. Was she violating Vincent's privacy? Perhaps, but she needed to understand what she might be getting into. Later that day, Mia returned with a thin folder. Vincent Reeves, 38, employed by Westside Construction for 15 years, foreman for the past 7. Widowed 4 years ago when his wife, Amanda, died of ovarian cancer. Significant medical debt despite insurance. Mortgage on a small apartment in Westbrook neighborhood. Daughter attends Franklin Middle School on partial scholarship. No criminal record, excellent credit considering his circumstances. Volunteers at Eastside Community Center teaching carpentry skills. Eliza took the folder, feeling a mixture of relief and concern. "Thank you, Mia. This stays between us." "Of course, Miss Harrington." That evening, Eliza's phone chimed with a message from Vincent. "Thanks again for a great evening. Lily's debate is Saturday at 2 if you're still interested." "No pressure." Eliza smiled and responded, "I'd love to come. Send me the details." Saturday found Eliza parking her least ostentatious car, a modest Audi, outside Franklin Middle School. She dressed casually in slacks and a blouse, her hair pulled back in a simple ponytail. Vincent was waiting in the lobby, his face lighting up when he saw her. "You came," he said, sounding genuinely surprised. "I said I would," Eliza replied simply. "Lily's nervous but pretending not to be," Vincent explained as he led her toward the auditorium. "Her team is debating environmental regulations versus economic growth. She's arguing for stricter regulations, been practicing her rebuttals all week." Eliza felt a strange flutter in her chest at his evident pride. "She sounds impressive." "She is," Vincent said, then lowered his voice. "I haven't told her about our dinner yet. Didn't want her getting any ideas until I knew if there was something to tell." Eliza understood his caution. "Completely reasonable. We're just getting to know each other." They took seats near the front, and Eliza watched Vincent wave encouragingly at a slender girl with dark hair setting up notes at one of the podiums. Lily gave a nervous smile and a subtle thumbs up to her father. The debate was surprisingly sophisticated for middle schoolers. When Lily stood to present her arguments, her voice trembled initially but strengthened as she found her rhythm. She articulated complex environmental concepts with clarity, citing studies and statistics with confidence. Companies prioritizing short-term profits over environmental sustainability aren't just damaging our planet, they're making a poor business decision, Lily argued. Long-term viability depends on responsible stewardship of resources. Vincent beamed beside Eliza, who found herself genuinely impressed. When the judges awarded Lily's team the victory, Vincent applauded loudly, his pride palpable. Afterward, they waited in the lobby for Lily to emerge. When she appeared, flushed with victory, Vincent pulled her into a hug. "You were brilliant, kiddo. Did you see when Tyler tried to interrupt me and I shut him down with that EPA statistic?" Lily was practically bouncing. "I did. Very impressive," Vincent agreed, then turned to include Eliza. "Lily, this is my friend Eliza. She came to watch the debate." Lily's eyes widened slightly as she assessed Eliza with surprising maturity. "You're the one from Thursday night, guilty as charged," Eliza smiled, extending her hand. "You were excellent up there. That point about sustainable business models was particularly astute." Lily shook her hand formally. "Thank you for coming. Dad doesn't bring friends to my events very often." "I'm honored to be the exception," Eliza replied, noting the girl's protective scrutiny. She recognized it immediately. Lily was evaluating whether Eliza was good enough for her father. "We were going to grab ice cream to celebrate," Vincent said. "Would you like to join us?" "I'd love to," Eliza replied, realizing she genuinely meant it. At the ice cream shop, a modest local establishment with handwritten menus, Lily gradually relaxed around Eliza, especially when the conversation turned to books they'd both read. Vincent watched them interact with a mixture of amusement and relief. "Dad said you work in business," Lily said between spoonfuls of Rocky Road. "What kind?" Eliza hesitated, aware of Vincent's attention. "Technology, primarily, software development." "Cool," Lily nodded. "Our school just got new tablets for the science lab." "They're okay, but the apps crash all the time." "That sounds frustrating," Eliza commiserated, steering away from specifics about her company, which had actually developed the educational software Lily's school likely used. As they parted that afternoon, Vincent walked Eliza to her car. "Thank you for coming. It meant a lot to both of us." "I enjoyed it," Eliza said truthfully. "Lily is remarkable. She likes you," Vincent observed. "She doesn't warm up to people easily, not since Amanda." Eliza felt the weight of that statement. "I'd like to see you again, Vincent, both of you." "I'd like that too," he said, then hesitated. "But I should be upfront about something. My situation isn't. I'm still dealing with some financial challenges from Amanda's illness. I'm not looking for help," he added quickly, "but I don't want you to think I'm hiding anything." Eliza's respect for him deepened. "Thank you for telling me, but that doesn't change anything for me." Vincent's relief was evident as he leaned forward hesitantly. When Eliza didn't pull away, he kissed her gently, briefly. "I'll call you," he promised. Over the next several weeks, Eliza found herself increasingly drawn into Vincent and Lily's world. They went to movies, cooked dinner at Vincent's apartment, spent a Saturday helping at the community center. Each encounter deepened Eliza's feelings, but also intensified her guilt about concealing her true identity. She found herself making adjustments to fit into their life, driving her Audi instead of using her driver, choosing casual restaurants within Vincent's budget, deflecting questions about her work. But her dual life was becoming increasingly difficult to maintain. The breaking point came unexpectedly. Eliza had invited Vincent and Lily to an art exhibition at a local gallery, a relatively modest event that featured work from community artists, including Sophia. They were examining a detailed landscape when Eliza heard a familiar voice. Eliza Harrington. What a surprise! She turned to find Harold Berkowitz, one of her company's major investors, approaching with his wife. "Harold," she greeted him, acutely aware of Vincent and Lily beside her. "Just saw the announcement about the government contract," Harold enthused. $2 billion. The board must be ecstatic. "Margaret and I were just saying, aren't we fortunate to have invested in Harrington Tech from the beginning?" Vincent stared at Eliza, confusion evident on his face. "Harold, this is Vincent Reeves and his daughter Lily," Eliza said stiffly. "If you'll excuse us, we were just about to view the next gallery." She steered Vincent and Lily away, her heart pounding. The moment they were alone, Vincent turned to her, Harrington Tech, as in the Harrington Technology Corporation. His voice was carefully neutral. "The company valued at what, $30 billion? Lily's eyes widened. "Wait, are you that Eliza Harrington? We just did a report on female CEOs in my business club." Eliza took a deep breath. "Yes, I should have told you both sooner, I'm sorry." Vincent's expression was unreadable. "Why didn't you?" "Initially, I just wanted a normal evening without all the baggage my name brings," Eliza explained. "And then, as I got to know you, I was afraid it would change things between us." "Change how?" Vincent asked. "People treat me differently when they know who I am," Eliza said. "Some want things from me. Others feel intimidated or inadequate. I didn't want that to happen with you." Vincent was quiet for a moment. "Let's get some air." Outside the gallery, with Lily tactfully examining a sculpture a few yards away, Vincent finally spoke. "I'm not angry that you're successful, Eliza. I'm confused about why you thought I'd care." "Experience," Eliza said simply. "Men in particular tend to react poorly to my position. It threatens them." Vincent ran a hand through his hair. "I'm not threatened by your success. I'm proud of what you've accomplished, but relationships need honesty to work. How can I trust you if you're hiding something this fundamental about yourself?" His words stung with their truth. "You're right," Eliza admitted. "I was wrong not to tell you." "I thought we were connecting as equals," Vincent continued, "but you knew everything about me while I only knew what you wanted me to see." Eliza nodded, her chest tight. "I understand if this changes things." Vincent looked at her for a long moment. "It does change things. But not in the way you think." He glanced at Lily, then back to Eliza. "We need time to process this. Can we talk tomorrow?" Eliza agreed, watching with a heavy heart as Vincent and Lily departed. She'd finally found someone who saw her for who she was, not what she had, and her own fears might have ruined it. The next day, Eliza waited anxiously in her penthouse for Vincent's call. When it finally came, she answered immediately. "Can we meet?" Vincent asked. "Just us." They arranged to meet at a small park near his apartment. When Eliza arrived, Vincent was already waiting on a bench, looking thoughtful. "Thank you for coming," he said as she sat beside him. "Thank you for calling," she replied. "I was afraid you wouldn't." Vincent was quiet for a moment. "I've been thinking about why you didn't tell me, about your experiences with people who only wanted your money or power. I get it, I do." Eliza felt a glimmer of hope. But I'm still trying to figure out where I fit in your world," Vincent admitted. "Our lives are so different, Eliza. You run a multi-billion-dollar corporation. I struggle to pay Lily's medical insurance premium some months." "Does that matter?" Eliza asked softly. Vincent considered the question seriously. "Not to me, not in the ways you might think. I'm not intimidated by your success. I admire it. But I won't be kept like a pet either. I pay my own way." "I would never expect otherwise," Eliza assured him. "And there's Lily to consider," Vincent continued. "She's impressed by you spent all night researching your company after we left the gallery, but she's also protective of me, of us." Eliza nodded. "She should be. You're fortunate to have each other." "The thing is," Vincent said slowly, "these past weeks with you have been the best I've had since Amanda died. You challenge me, make me laugh, see things differently. You treat Lily like a person, not a child. Money aside, I think we have something real here." Eliza's heart leapt. "I think so too. So if you're willing to be completely honest from now on, I'd like to keep seeing where this goes. No more secrets." "No more secrets," Eliza agreed fervently. "And for what it's worth, being with you and Lily has been the most authentic part of my life in years. When I'm with you, I'm just Eliza, not the CEO, not the Harrington heir, just me." Vincent reached for her hand. "That's who I fell for, just you." The admission hung between them, new and fragile. "You fell for me?" Eliza asked quietly. Vincent's smile was crooked but sincere. "Hard not to. You're extraordinary, Eliza Harrington, and not because of your company or your bank account." Eliza felt something tighten in her chest, an emotion she hadn't allowed herself to feel in years. "I've fallen for you too. Your honesty, your integrity, the way you raise Lily. It's all so real." Real is good, Vincent said. Real lasts. The months that followed weren't without challenges. Integrating their vastly different worlds required patience and compromise. Vincent insisted on maintaining his independence, continuing his work at Westside even when Eliza's schedule meant they saw each other less frequently than they'd like. Lily adapted with surprising flexibility, though she maintained a protective watch over her father's heart. She particularly enjoyed visiting Eliza's office, asking incisive questions about business strategy that impressed even Eliza's executive team. 6 months into their relationship, Vincent and Eliza sat on his small balcony after dinner, a quiet moment while Lily finished homework inside. "I've been thinking," Eliza said cautiously. "Harrington Tech is launching a community development initiative. We're renovating abandoned buildings into affordable housing and community spaces. The project needs someone who understands construction and community needs." Vincent raised an eyebrow. "Are you offering me a job, a partnership?" Eliza clarified. "Your expertise, our resources." "The position reports directly to the board, not to me. Complete autonomy." Vincent considered this. "I won't take it because we're involved personally." "I'd make the same offer if we weren't," Eliza said truthfully. "You're the best person for the project. Think about it, that's all I ask." A week later, Vincent accepted the position, making it clear to everyone involved that his relationship with Eliza would remain separate from his professional responsibilities. As their 1-year anniversary approached, Vincent invited Eliza to dinner at the restaurant where they'd first met. Lily was spending the night with a friend, giving them a rare evening alone. "Hard to believe it's been a year," Vincent remarked as they settled at the same corner table. "Best year of my life," Eliza said honestly. Vincent looked at her thoughtfully. "Mine too. You know, when Sophia first suggested I meet her successful friend, I almost canceled. The idea of dating again, especially someone I assumed would have nothing in common with me, was terrifying." "I nearly canceled too," Eliza admitted. "Blind dates at our age seemed desperate." "I'm glad we didn't cancel," Vincent said, reaching across the table for her hand. "You've changed my life, Eliza. You've changed Lily's life, not with money or opportunities, but with who you are." Eliza felt tears threaten. "You've changed mine too. Before you, I had success but not happiness." "Not real connection." Vincent's expression grew serious. "I've been thinking about our future, about what I want." "And what do you want?" Eliza asked, her heart beating faster. "A life with you," Vincent said simply, "if you'll have us." From his pocket, he withdrew a small box, opening it to reveal a ring modest but beautiful, with a single diamond set between 2 sapphires. "I saved for months," he said quickly. "No loans, no advances. This is from me." Eliza stared at the ring, then at the man offering it. In that moment, all the wealth, power, and success that had defined her life seemed insignificant compared to the honest heart before her. "Yes," she whispered. "Yes, I'll have you, both of you." When they told Lily the next morning, her response was immediate and enthusiastic. "Finally." "I've been dropping hints for months." Their wedding 6 months later was a small affair, held at the community center, where they'd first connected through Sophia. Lily stood proudly beside her father, serving as both best person and ring bearer. In her vows, Eliza spoke words she'd never imagined saying. "You taught me that true wealth isn't measured in dollars but in love freely given. Your honest heart has made me richer than any business success ever could." Vincent's voice was steady as he replied, "You really saw me when I was invisible to everyone else. You loved us for who we are, not what we could be. I promise to love you with the same honesty and completeness for all our days." 3 years later, they welcomed twins, a boy and girl, who inherited Vincent's easy smile and Eliza's determined spirit. Their family of 5 settled not in Eliza's penthouse or Vincent's apartment, but in a comfortable home halfway between the two, a place that was purely their own. Eliza continued to lead her company, but with a new perspective, implementing family-friendly policies and community initiatives inspired by Vincent's influence. Vincent's housing project expanded across the Midwest, providing not just homes but opportunities for disadvantaged communities. On quiet evenings, when the children were asleep and Lily was studying, now aiming for business school with plans to revolutionize corporate social responsibility. Eliza often reflected on how differently her life might have unfolded if she hadn't taken a chance on that blind date. "Penny for your thoughts," Vincent said, joining her on their porch swing one such evening. "Just gratitude," Eliza replied, leaning into his steady warmth. "For Sophia's meddling, for your courage in showing up that night, for the honest heart that changed everything." Vincent kissed her temple gently. "The best things in life are rarely planned." "The best things in life," Eliza corrected, "are the people who see us clearly and love us anyway." As the stars emerged above their home, Eliza Harrington Reeves, billionaire CEO and devoted wife and mother, knew with absolute certainty that she had found a wealth beyond measure in the honest heart of the man beside her.